Greetings all, welcome to the round 2 of the 2004 FIA GT season, live here from Valencia. I am your host, Matthew Sivignoni, for the evening, as we have 6 minutes left in qualifying and both GT and NGT cars are on track. Currently your pole sitter is Alexei Spirichev of F1 fame, who will be driving for BMW in the 2008 Formula One season that kicks off next weekend, I believe in Australia. Followed by, I believe he's in the pits, Troy Barman, a rookie here at VMU. Very quick, did a good job to finish third, I believe, in the Monza highlights, if you caught them. And then we have Evgeny Sidorenko, who finished. I think it was actually Evgeny who finished third, and it was Troy second, while Grayson Williams, the American driving for Ferrari, won the race, if you saw in the highlights there. So that's your top three currently, provisionally. Going down the field, we have Karel Ostrozolek, I believe, in his Viper, running well there. In the pits, we have Christian Stoalfa, an impressive fifth, and he is returning to VMU. Sixth, Jules Bouchard. This wouldn't be his first time in a factory Ferrari. Seventh, German Korev. Eighth, Maximilian Putravsky. We haven't gotten their time yet. Ninth is Jeff Klose, a new German in the series, debuting today at Valencia. 10th is Kaide Luna, another debutant. If you know the Dutch Rennsportmeisterschaft, especially the very infamous 1980 season that came down to the last race, Rusty Hansen here, your DRM 1980 champion, he is now racing in NGT and he's doing just fine. Ethan Ethanol for Ferrari, doing quite well at 12th. Goyan Kaya, 13th, another debutant to FIA GT and VMU as a whole. Alan Kopek is a familiar name in the VMU side of things before the merger into VMU, which combined both F1 and GT divisions respectively. So he had a couple of debut races in 1980 series where Rusty Hansen won the 1980 title. Adi Spitars making his way up the F1 grid, debuted about back in, I want to say, 1995 F1 season, and has been with us all the way through 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, all the way to 2003, which was last season's coverage. And now we'll be going into the 2004 GT season and the 2008 F1 season. So that's him in his lovely Nissan Z. Then this is Marat Nabulian, again a regular in VMU, doing well in his NGT class in his Ferrari 360, I believe. Alexis Borden making a return after a long hiatus. She drives the Ferrari 360, I believe that is a factory Ferrari 360. Nick Holliday, regular in VMU. He has been a 1977 Dutch Rennsportmeisterschaft championship before the merger of VSU, with VFU. So now in VMU, he comes to the GT series as a former champion, so we'll be expecting a lot from him today as he four-wheel drifts around the corner. First sector 58, 59, 60, and the seconds keep on counting. We'll see what kind of sector he has. Now, bear in mind he is 5 seconds off the GT time. There's 2 classes here today of 20 drivers, about 10 each. There's one of the Ferraris of Jules Bouchard trying to get by Nick Holliday, and there's already drama that has begun in the FIA GT Championship here, round 2 at Valencia. Then we move forward. Oh, there's a temp car, so it hasn't loaded quite yet. That is another debutante. I will reload shortly soon, so you know. Um, Actually, I just realized I didn't take the poster down. My apologies. I did not take the poster down. I've been showing you cars that you cannot see. My apologies. Let me start again. Oh my goodness. I'll run through. At least you've heard the brief introductions of the drivers. So we have Alexei Spirichev for Lamborghini, who's sitting on pole and looking to improve by 3/10 on his time. We have Troy Barman, debutant as I said, Evgeny Sidorenko, Karol Ostrozolek, Jules Bouchard, Christian Stoalfa, Petravsky, who's just gone off, German Korev, Jeff Klose, Kaide Luna, Rusty Hansen, Ethan Ethanol, Goyan Kaya, Marat Nabulin, Alan Kopik, Idis Bitars, Alex Bourne, Nick Holliday. That's Spirichev, who's just done the fastest lap. Dios, I'm going to just call him Dio for short. Dio Faros, a debutant, which I will show you his cars soon. And that'll round out the entirety of the field. I apologize, I've completely forgot that the poster was still there. My bad. Actually, give me a brief second as Petravsky gets it all wrong there and has quite the heavy damage from the incident. Give me a brief moment and I will reload the poster so you can see the car that Dio is debuting on. A lot of drivers here today, a big field, which means big drama. So I'm looking very, very, very forward to how this plays out. So, coming back to the broadcast, that is one of the debutants in his lovely Porsche 911 GT3R. Not sure if it's an RS. I don't believe it's an RS. The RS would be more I think it's the longer model. I'm not quite sure. I'll try and get the difference for you soon. All the Porsches, they look so similar. It's so hard to tell which car is which. But I will get that for you when we are going through the formation lap order. So, in the meantime, Alexei Spirichev is your pole sitter. We will be back in a moment. If you did not catch the race highlights from Monza, they will play now shortly, and we will see you for going green. There is a man in a robe standing at my front And we're back. I hope you managed to catch that coverage of the previous round in Monza where Grayson Williams drove a masterful race in the Italian wet and cold to take the Ferrari for a home victory. We are just in warm up now here in Valencia. Uh, we will be getting racing very soon. I will go through the grid order in the meantime. Let's see who's lined up for today's battle. So on pole, Alexei Spirichev. Second, Troy Barman. He's carrying ballast today. Third is Evgeny Sidorenko in his Celine, also carrying ballast. Karol Ostrozolek carrying ballast. I believe so. I believe he came fifth or sixth. It's the top five. Let me double check my info, but I believe it's the top five who will carry ballast into the race. Success ballast. So they'll carry some kilos. I will double check. So today, actually, we have Evgeny Sidorenko carrying 30 kgs. We have 20 kgs for Troy Barman. We have 20 kgs for Keita Luna, who I believe, won the NGT class in Monza. We have 15 kilos for Rusty Hansen and 10 kilos for Edis Patar. So I was incorrect. Apologies on that. And I won't get time to go through the full grid in warm-up as we are moving to the race session, so bear with me, and we will be back shortly for this round 2 of the FIA GT 2004 Championship here live in Valencia. It is, I want to say, in 3 years, the 7th season of GT racing here, so it's been a long lineage of GT racing. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back, everybody. Sorry for the delays. We were getting everybody set up on the grid. Now, GT racing commences. So, your pole sitter for the GT class, Alexei Spirichev in his Lamborghini Murcielago. Troy Barman in his Viper comes second. Third is Evgeny Sidorenko in his Celine carrying ballast. Fourth is Karol Ostrolek in his Viper. Fifth is Jules Bouchard in his Ferrari. Sixth is Maximilian Putravsky. So the factory entries are right together. Fifth and sixth. Seventh is German Korev. Eighth is Jeff Close. Ninth is Christian Stoalfa. 10th is Kaida Luna. 11th is Rusty Hansen. 12th is Goyan Kaya. 13th is Marat Nabulian. 14th is Ethan Ethanol. 15th is Alan Kopek. 16th is Eddie Spitars. 17th is Alexis Borden. 18th is Nick Holiday. 19th, last but not least, Dio Faros. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I'm gonna just say Dio for now. Anyways, so that's the field coming up. They're just on their rolling start formation lap. Cloudy skies here at Valencia. It is quite cool, so no risk of engines expiring as they round the penultimate corner to begin this hour of GT racing. Alexis Spirichev in tow with the Viper of Troy Barman, Russia and US, leading 1 and 2. And now, as you see the tire smoke kick up in the air, the race has begun. Across the line they go, and it looks like Spirichev has gotten the opportunity on Troy, but Troy flicks the car in on the inside, a little bit of paint traded, and Troy steps out that Viper but saves it, which gives Sidorenko the lead. He tries again up the inside of Spirichev, so that's already cinematic as we begin 1 hour here in Spain. That's the full field now trickling through, and Putravsky has a little bit of a tank slapper. It seems the damage wasn't great enough to tear any bodywork away, but that German has a lot of work to do now. Meanwhile, Sidorenko in his Celine leading the field as Troy second, third Spirichev fourth, Ostrozolek fifth, Bouchard, and we have a side-by-side with Christian Stoalfa storming up the field despite a 3-place grid penalty. He's side-by-side with German Korev, who refuses to give up the fight but doesn't have the line to protect from that Ferrari. So the Lister Storm loses a position. Now, leading the NGT field, Jeff Close in his debut. It could be amazing for a German driver in his Porsche to debut here in VMU and to claim a class victory. But there's, oh my goodness, there's a massive wreck. Look at it. There's so much trouble. Panel off for Troy Barman. He'll have to get repairs. It's bedlam. So the NGT class now is trickling past. Jules Bouchard last. Cars racing into the pits trying to get repairs done. That has NGT cars in the top 5 now, I believe. And there's still a little bit of trouble as there's smoke going into the first turn. So Valencia strikes already. Let's run through the order and see what's going on. Sidorenko is now pulling away comfortably despite ballast. Spirichev second, so that's 2 Russian drivers, 1 and 2, Celine and Lamborghini, followed by Polish driver of Karol Ostrozolek in third for the Viper. Let's see who else is coming up the field. That's Romania's Christian Stoalfa in fourth. Fifth is Jeff Close leading the NGT field. Ethan Ethanol from Wales is second in NGT. Goyan Kaya, 7th. 8th is, I want to say that's Kaida Luna. Let's see. It is indeed. That's Maximilian Putravsky stuck in NGT traffic, trying to find a way past to catch up to his fellow class peers. Cinema scenes here in Valencia as Ethan Ethanol goes wide and he's in the barriers. Valencia is not for the faint of heart. It seems Ethan got away with no damage, but he's plummeting down the NGT field. Spirichev with the fastest lap of the race. Side by side is Kaida Luna and Goyan Kaida, both Porsches. There's Troy Barman just finishing repairs, and that's a race-destroying repair that he's had to do now. He has to unlap himself and climb up the field. There's so much jostling for position as he re-enters the circuit. Kaida Luna wins that position back from Goyan Kaida. And Putravsky now closing in on NGT leader Jeff Klose. As we look under his rear wing, Kaida Luna pulling away from Goyan Kaida. A little bit wide goes Putravsky, 2/10 off the leader in pace in Sector 1, so he is not slow and he will come back. Let's see what's going on in GT. GT is still closer than ever before, with the Russian drivers just I want to say hundredths of a second away from each other. Spirichev right on Sidorenko's tail. We'll catch up with these two in a minute. There's Ostrozolik running well in third. Sidorenko and Spirichev going band for band on lap times there. Sto Alpha now hunting down the Lister. So that's a good battle that's brewing. Let's see if he gets a chance. It looks like he'll get a chance. And Sto Alpha is losing time to Ostrozolik, who's pulling a second per lap. Alexis Borden is out of the race, unfortunately. Putravsky now past the NGT leader, that's Jeff Klose. Luda. Barman now starting to unlap himself well. Goyan Kaida making room. There's Bouchard and Hansen. That's for position, but it won't be for much longer as the GT Ferrari storms past the NGT Porsche. Batar's running well mid-pack of NGT in his Nissan. There is a yellow flag out, and that's Goyan Kaida who has spun, who is trying to re-enter the track, and he does so fairly cautiously, I would argue. That's Holiday now trying to get position on Alan Kopik side by side, and Kopik cuts him off well. Nick goes for a late dive. I think he's trying to make it stick. It looks like it can stick, but it did not. Let's see what's going on up the field in the meantime. Sto Alpha has gotten past the Lister Storm of Korev, who's plummeted down the field. That's Putravsky off again, having a nightmare of a race, and the NGT has gotten past once more. Troy Barman has already nearly unlapped himself against the NGT field as they pass the start finish straight. That'll be an unlapping. Now, as Max kind of gets a little bit unsteady and lets Troy Barman through instead of contesting it. Troy Barman has a lot of work to do. This is only his second race ever. Meanwhile, Bouchard and Luna still hung up on each other. This GT Ferrari trying to pass an NGT Porsche. And it seems like he's biding his time. He's not rushing it. As he sees it. Maybe Bouchard knows his competitors are a bit squirrely at this early stage of the race, but it's all to play for. There's an hour of racing to get through. And he gets through that NGT Porsche just fine and clear. So now Jeff Klose dealing with the unsteady Ferrari of Maximilian Putravsky at the moment, his 550 GT car. looking for a way past and losing time. He's 2 seconds off in Sector 2 to the leading man of Evgeny Sidorenko as he looks for a way around, and it looks like it's going to be rather clean. Hard on the brakes again. This is the corner he struggles with quite a bit, but he seems to get by. Jeff Close does not seem too happy about dealing with that Ferrari for a third time in 5 minutes. But of course they are German compatriots, so maybe there's not too much love lost between them. Now, further down the field, Eddie Spitars is moving up, actually. I think he's just performed that overtake not too long ago on Ethan Ethanol, who is trailing him. Down the field we have a three-way battle. That's Marat Nabulian looking to get by Alan Kopik. Let's go on board. Tire smoke from a lockup as Kopik runs a little wide, not wide enough to go off though. And it seems like it's going to be stable for now. But Goyan Kaya having a way by. He's going to try on the outside line. It looks like he's going to get it done. He has a little bit of splitter damage there side by side, and Goyan Kaya gets it done beautifully around the outside. Nick Holliday has dropped back. German Korev has had some kind of nightmare mistake, which has dropped him down the field as he trails Christian Stoalfa. There's Troy Barman now trying his best to recover what little left he could of this race. Meanwhile, retirements of the evening. Alexis Borden and Dio Faros. So that is the retirements of today. So far, at least. Let's see, back in the top two, these Russians are in a class of their own, and they are going to be fighting all evening long here in Valencia for the race wins. Evgeny Sidorenko came second in Monza after a little bit of a spin cost him a chance to catch up to Grayson Williams in the rain. So rather now he's trying to make up for that win while Grayson is absent here in Spain, and he will be carrying even more ballast going into round 3. But Alexis Birchev had a quite horrible race in Monza, didn't get much of a chance to race as he retired within the first, I want to say 10-15 minutes of the race. Now he's going to make up for Lamborghini. He has said that Lamborghini is quite tail happy, so we'll see how he handles it as the fuel comes down and it gets lighter. And we'll see what kind of strategy he adopts pit stop wise. I won't know if they're on softs or hards. I would say they're on softs judging by the blistering pace of these two. There's Carroll. He was running like this kind of safely in the middle of nowhere but in high points with his Viper. Says the Viper understeers quite a lot is what I heard from him, the pole in the days leading up to the race. So he seems to be handling that Viper quite well though, and pacey. Christian Stoalfa, who had a very, very bad Monza round, is now making up for it in his Ferrari. Putravki now, there's a battle brewing between these Ferraris, and there's another Ferrari behind Putravki, so there's going to be a three-way Ferrari fight. It'll be the works Ferraris versus that customer Ferrari of Christian Stoalfa's soon. We'll catch up to that in a moment. Let's see what's going on. Jeff Closa leading, but being kept honest by Kaida Luna, who's running very quickly. Third in NGT, Rusty Hansen, not too bad for the 1980 champion. Eddie Spitar seems to be closing in on him though. That is Alan Kopik and Gohan Kaya, who is still close to that Porsche. Let's find an onboard camera. As the cloudy skies of Valencia do not seem to be clearing whatsoever. And that's a four-wheel drift from Alan Kopik, so he's pushing hard. Nick has gotten by Ethan. Marat Nabulian has dropped back with a mistake. There's Troy Barman. There's a yellow flag somewhere briefly, as you saw the graphic flash at the top of your screen where the race time is shown. It is 1 hour plus 1 lap. That's German Korev now trying to catch up to Troy. And that's Borden, who's retired in the pit. So let's go back to those 3 Ferraris and see what's happening with them. Actually, I think I know why the yellow flag had went out. Christian Stoalfa has retired from the LG Super Racing weekend here in Spain. So I don't know what happened because it doesn't no damage on his car seems apparent, but he has left the field, unfortunately for the Romanian. So that leaves the 2 Works Ferraris to battle it out as Putrafki goes wide. That's going to give Bouchard a chance to catch up and pass. Putrafki pushing awfully hard. He definitely has the pace to catch up to the top 2, who are still going lap for lap for lap. 45 minutes almost left here in Valencia, and Valencia is no kind track to these drivers. Let's see what's going on in NGT. No, let's not see what's going on in NGT as these Ferraris are right together. Bouchard stalking his fellow Works team car. And that's Putrafki getting it all wrong again at the same corner. That corner is his nemesis, and it's going to cost him points today. Where is P6? That's P6 who will not be tormented by a GT trying to unlap, or not unlap, but repass an NGT once again. But Kaida Luna is looking awfully close to Jeff Close. Close to close. Not too far away. Look at the delta at the bottom of your screen. Jeff Close is losing time. He pulled out 2/10 in lap 9, only 1/10 in lap 10, and Kaida Luna is on the warpath to catch up to the German on his stunning debut so far in NGT. Meanwhile, down the field, Rusty Hansen looks like he's preparing to defend himself from the attack of the Latvian driver of Eddie Tires. In the meantime, Alan Kopek continues to battle the Bosnian re-entering GT Racing versus Gohan Kaya. So these two are right together. Let's go on board. So, report. Christian Stoalfa had an engine failure. Lap 7 engine failure. Very unfortunate for him. That's just racing. Alexis Borden unfortunately had a disconnect from the server. You hate to see that. But she seems to have lost power steering when she joined the grid for the formation lap. So not much to say for her race, unfortunately. Now, we are still waiting to see if something occurs between these Porsches 3, Hansen, Kopik and Kaya. In the meantime, just 3/10 separate Sidorenko. So this is the battle of NGT. I will check up on Jeff Close. Is he still holding that gap well? He is indeed. So this is the battle to watch now. Kopik, Kaya, and it could be Batars. It could be a 4-way train. Hansen seems to be pushing to stay away from Kopik. So there's going to be something to give here. And that's Kaya trying an attempt, but it did not come off. It is so close between these three. And there are points to pick up as others are not here. Keith Richards not here today. Paco Orejas isn't here today. Pete Richards not here today. Jose Trevino not here today. Jack Swigert, Owen Potter, Nazari Prokopkov not here today. So this field of 20 could have been a field of 30 to 40. So there's lots of points on offer today in NGT and GT itself. Still there's a battle going on between these two. Seems Rusty is pulling away. No, he's not pulling away. His Kopik goes for a deep dive. Very deep dive. And gets that move done excellently. So now you've got weaving in the straight as Kaya is making a move on Hansen, and there's contact, but it's not too unsavory. It's not too unsavory at all. Kopik still managing to hold the pass that he got done. What a beautiful dive that he got done. So the Turkish driver of Goyan Kaya holding his own well amongst the Bosnian and the Argentinian of Hansen and Kopik. This is playing into the hands of Eddie Spitars, who seems to be pulling away from those Porsches 3. I thought they might work together. Oh, actually, situation brewing. We've got the top two cars of the race, the two Russians who are storming, coming up to lap, not unlap, but lap the three NGT cars, who are midst of a battle. So this is going to cause problems. Delicious, delicious TV on your screen, I would say. So, in the meantime, a lock up there from Kaya as he goes deep into the penultimate corner. There's the GTs of Spirichev and Evgeny looking for a way around. And Hansen now lapped by Evgeny. He got out of the way for Spirichev. Kaya now is looking like he'll have to relent his attack on Kopik. I would do it now sooner rather than later. Let Evgeny through and then have Kopik deal with that problem. Let's go on board. And there's the Celine passing by. Expert navigation followed by the Lamborghini. Kopik needs to get out of the way now. And he does so carefully enough. And that was excellent driving. But it's opened up an area of attack for Kaya, the Turkish driver having an attempt. And this is great racing. And Kaya has the opportunity. Kopik is off the racing line, but he manages to make it stick. Excellent, excellent stuff. Hansen really fell back and is getting it a bit wrong. This is the battle of the battle of the race. So I'll come back to that in a moment. I just want to see what's going on up and down the field. Murat Nabulian last but not least. There is German Korov having a bit of a nightmare of a race. Troy Barman still trying to catch up to the GT class. Nick Holliday looks like he's planning a stop soon. 12th Ethan Ethanol on his own lonesome. There's Rusty Hansen, and side by side go Kopik and Kaya into turn 1, and Kaya around the inside gets the move done, but there's still room for Kopik to strike again. Let's see if he'll go deep in the inside. He won't. He'll leave it go. So good. So good. Eddie Spitars, Luna, close. Petrovsky, Bouchard, Ostrosolek, and there is the battle for the win. Spirichev seems to be playing it safe. I think he's biding his time. He's going to pressure Sidorenko into a mistake, but Sidorenko seems solid. I'd be sweating in that cockpit if I were Sidorenko. And I'll just bring up the track map so you can see where everyone is at the very moment. So, this GT race has been absolutely excellent. Just going to boost my audio levels and see if that does it better for people who are watching. I saw the message, did not have a chance to change the audio until now. That should be better. So now Evgeny Sidorenko has pit. It seems like a planned pit stop. Let's see how long it takes. As there's cars off in turn 1, Goyan Kaya could not hang with Kopik and is now being passed by Ethan the Welshman, who's capitalized on the mistake. And Rusty Hansen went a little bit wide, and Ethan Ethanol might actually get a chance to get past Hansen. So there goes the Welshman all of a sudden up 2 positions as Hansen gets it wrong again. Kaya's going to have a chance, but Kaya's missing a front splitter, and now Holiday may be part of this equation. It all happened in a brief moment that I took a break. It all happened. I couldn't even go and get a glass of water. So now Goyan Kaya, missing a front splitter, will probably have to come in early, is trying to navigate Korev, who's trying to navigate Hansen, and there is Holiday, who's trying to navigate all of that, and there's a Ferrari that's going to try and lap them in a moment. We saw, I think, Jules Bouchard in the background. Ethan Ethanol having a brilliant strategic play there. Kopik, Batars, Sidorenko now out of the pits. When the cycles finish, he'll be second again. Luna, Close, Butravki, and Bouchard, who's coming up to lap those 3. Let's go on board with this Ferrari and watch how that develops as he prepares to lap each of the cars. So Goyan Kaya now trailing from Holiday, missing a front splitter. Very slow as Holiday dives deep. Actually, I'm going to go directly on board with Holiday, and Hansen's in actually. In the pits, pit limiter on, looking for the box. There's Kopik getting service. Very thin pit lane there. Up onto the jacks. Splitter repairs is going to cost Kaya a lot of time. Now Holiday has opportunity if he comes in to overcut these few drivers, especially Kaya, who has damage. Jules Bouchard with lights on, looking for a way around. Nick is not going to move off. He wants Bouchard to find a way around. Bouchard flicks the Ferrari around Holiday and is on his way, so that's good of him. I'm wondering when this Ferrari 360 of Ethan's going to come in. He's done very well to capitalize on the chaos. As we see the Viper of Karol Ostrozolik lapping the Nissan of Eddie Spitars in the foggy distance there. And there he goes, the Polishman. Lots of track activity. Let's see the track map and see what's going on. So P1 all on his own. Spirichev soon to pit. P2. 8th and 9th is Troy Barman, as you saw. Troy getting past another NGT as he climbs up the field. 3rd is Jules Bouchard. 4th, Petrovsky. 5th, Jeff Close, still not so far away as Luna. 7th is Evgeny as he tries to find his groove again and get back into P2. Or P1 even. Troy, there he is. Batars. Korev planning a pit stop. There's Ethan, who's yet to come in. Jules Bouchard wanting to find a way against the NGT Ferrari, and that's going to be very clean indeed. And off goes that Ferrari. Murat 12th. Goyan Kaya, I believe, still receiving service in the pits. Lost his splitter. Hansen. Oh no, that is Kaya, so he's actually out. So who is that? That's Hansen. This is Rusty Hansen. Apologies. There is Kaya. Hansen now leaving the pits. So, retirees, Christian Stowalfa, Alexis Borden and Dio Faras. Back with Spirichev yet to come in, so he may be on hard tyres, just extremely pacey on hard tyres. Ostrozolek, Bouchard, Trafki seems like he's coming in soon. Klose, Kaya, no, Luna, not Kaya. Sidorenko, Barman, Eddie Spitars. Barman could actually capitalize on the pit cycle now, as he had to fall down the field a bit in the early stages of the race. Spitars, Korev, looking for battles here. There is the 360 Ferrari of Murat Nabulian now coming in for his planned stop. See if we can find any battles. The pit cycle tends to loosen things out quite a bit. So there's not much going on yet. We'll stick with Alexei Spirichev and see when he pits. And in this moment I will take an opportunity to have a little break and get a glass of water and pray that nothing crazy happens in my absence, although I see the gap between P6 and P7 quite close. Ah yes, Jeff Close and Kauda Luna. So half distance now, 30 minutes elapsed in this GT race. FIA GT Championship 2004, round 2 at Valencia. I re-enter the commentary box as Spirichev exits the pit lane in third position, excuse me. Let's see how things have turned out. So Bouchard is second, who's yet to come in. There's a battle between Hansen and Holiday there in NGT, so things are starting to kick off once more. Hansen looks like he's going to get that move done nicely. Let's go directly on track to them. Deep braking from both the American and Argentinian as a little bit of paint is traded. That is side by side, inch by inch racing right there. And there goes the American diving again. The Porsche of Nick Holiday. And now Hansen looking around the outside at the penultimate corner. This is where a lot of people get it wrong here in Valencia, but it seems these two get it right. But Hansen looks like he's going to have a run. Let's see. Could end in tears at turn 1. A little bit of weaving as people are trying to avoid tow. Or Holiday's trying to avoid tow, as there's a massive accident between these two. Oh, I've cut the camera. I apologize. I've cut the camera. And Nick Holiday comes away worse off. That's a result of Hansen, I think, trying to find a dive around Holiday as he weaved to defend. So Hansen continues. Oh my goodness. That's merciless from GT Racing. That's going to put Holiday right at the back, and you can expect a furious protest. And he has a puncture. Sparks flying as he's under braking. It's the front left puncture, as you can tell. You can see the smoke. The Boolean now going to soon pass Holiday. You can see the long tire mark that Nick makes on the road from that. Meanwhile, no retirement so far. Stoalfa's still in the pit. Yellow flag and Holiday's off. And yes, I would have expected so, that he would retire. He will be furious at Hansen. I don't particularly see fully how that went down. I think there was just a lot of hard racing. Could be a racing incident, but we'll find out for sure later in the VMU Discord server. In the meantime, Kopik 13th in overall, chasing down Ethan Ethanol, the Welshman, so he will be under attack from the Bosnian very shortly. Runs a little too wide there, might lose some time. And let's see what's going on up the field as that battle begins to brew. Hansen, Batars, the Lister Storm of Korev is in, Klose, no longer leading the NGT field, I think, as Luna now has managed to jump him in the pit cycles at some point. Bouchard 5th, while Putravki 7th. There's Barman, who's really climbed back up, but now he's going to fall back down as he finally pits with just over 20 minutes to go. That is the Viper of Ostrozolek now coming in. Sidorenko will be soon second. Spirichev is currently second, and that's your race leader, Ostrozolek, who is being serviced, and it will take him some time. So let's see Spirichev inherit the lead. There he goes. Let's see where Sidorenko is, as there's a huge lockup. Barman's back out. And he's still a lap down off of some of the quicker GT cars. Sidorenko now look to put a lap back on his rival, but Barman will push. But blue flags might have a thing or two to say. Let's see if that battle between Ethan and Kopik has culminated. There it is. I would say Ethan now will lose a lot of time to Barman and Sidorenko. If I were Kopik, I'd let those two through early so they're not his problem. And so he does. Up the inside, both the GT cars go of that NGT Porsche. Now, let's go on board with Kopik and see how Ethan deals with the traffic. Ethan now under serious pressure to let those two by. Barman is definitely getting blue flags, and Sidorenko goes into Barman's rear just at the corner of your screen. Let's zoom in and get a better view. Camera at full zoom, and Sidorenko won't be happy with that at all. He might even put in a protest. Barman obviously wants to catch up to the leading GT car, so he doesn't want to give away the time to Sidorenko, and he's trying to tell those blue flags to go away as Ethan makes a mistake, and now Kopik has his chance. Foot down, hard on the brakes after the Ferrari. I know I can tell the Welshman is pushing. Great battles all day long here at Valencia, and there's only 20 minutes to go, so there's not much time left. As Kopik's engine expires! Kopik is out. Just like that, another drama happens. Just like that. Oh, what a heartbreaker. Oh, that's crushing. That's crushing. So now Kaya the Turk is left to try and get around this Welshman, and he is making good time. He is making good time. He was hanging with Rusty Hansen as he has a tank slapper on the curb, and that's going to give Ethanol some time to breathe. Excuse me. Where is Hansen actually? Hansen's out as well, so it could be engine failure too. May have over-revved the car just a bit. Let's see, there's a yellow flag out. I cannot for the life of me find out why. And cones are strewn across the track. So that really killed the NGT competitiveness, because all the cars that were embroiled in battles are now having mechanics look over them wondering what the hell happened. So must have been a lot of over-revving going on, trying to push and stay with their rivals. Obviously Valencia, very tight and twisty, very easy to damage the car if you're not careful. That's unfortunate now. That was a very good bit of television that we're missing out on because they've retired. That's a shame. So Jeff Closa seems like he's going to finish second, as Kaida Luna has pulled off an excellent strategy. Still goes Troy and Sidorenko. Sidorenko is not, I repeat, not racing for position. He's being all kinds of held up, and I expect a protest. Troy isn't pulling away, so he has to give up the position. He cannot fight a lapped car. He cannot fight as a lapped car. And it seems like Sidorenko will have his chance to pull away, but he's lost 15, 16, 17 and counting seconds to Spirichev, who looks like he's going to come away with the victory here at Spain. The Ferraris 4 and 5, respectable. There's Luna. Unless something happens, Jeff Close hasn't a hope in heaven of catching. Korev now recovered his race to 9th. 10th goes Batars, 11th goes Hansen, 12th goes Ethan, who is still actually battling Kaya. So it's the remaining battle of the race. Just above 15 minutes to go here in Valencia. So now, let's get on board with the Porsche driver and see how he goes about dispatching Ethan. If Ethan is not quick enough, that is, but he seems very quick in my eyes right now. So, the gap seems to be pulling a little bit. No mistakes from the Welshman. He always runs wide there in turn 1. Maybe it's quicker. He runs... Now he definitely ran wide there in turn 3. So he is losing time. Let's see what the Delta gives us for Kaya. And he's definitely closing. 30 seconds in Sector 1. We'll see now if we can compare these two at the end of the lap, Delta-wise. Just under 15 minutes here to go. Let's see if there's any drama going up or down the field. I doubt it. I think they are just the last bastions of battling. Is there any other retirements? No. Yeah, Alan Kopik being the last retirement, as we saw. There's Marat Nabulian. Goyan Kaya. And Ethan Ethanol, who's close by. So let's see. We'll just see how this plays out. So there's the Delta we were looking for. So Hansen is well and truly gone. Actually, I wanted to be on board with Kaya to find the Delta between him and Ethan. So I'll stay with these two for a full lap and give the NGTs their well-deserved television. And it looks like we're going to get our battle anyway. So I look very much forward to seeing how this one plays out. Ferrari under pressure. Now, the Turkish man has a chance to set this up beautifully and claim another position before the closing stages of the race, but I have a feeling that Ethan won't let it go easily. Let's see now. Go on board with the Porsche. Nose to tail these two. Ethan just about seems to be holding his own. He's lost time there as he excellently saves a four-wheel drift. Beautiful. And now he's trying to avoid the air tow that Kaya seems to still be getting regardless. and he's actually lost more time doing that than if he had just set up the corner normally. He ran too wide, and Kaya is probably going to get the move done now in this lap with just over 10 minutes to go. Yes, let's see now. Kaya has one good shot, I think, at getting this move. He has repaired front splitter damage. He is a little slower, I would say, than before he damaged the splitter. He has one opportunity, I'd say, because if he gets it wrong, it'll take too long time-wise to recover. Now, it seems Ethan is driving the wheels off of that Ferrari 360, trying to maintain the gap. He's pulled out just a little in Sector 1, or in Sector 2. Ethan is a tenth slower than Kaya, as you can tell by the graphic at the top of your screen. And Ethan again just barely saves that Ferrari. That Ferrari does not like that corner. Now he has to tuck in under the rear wing. That's not how I expected that overtake to go. Now Kaya is going to give us the Delta to Hansen because he's past Ethan and he's weaving to try and avoid tow. This is a definitely ferocious fight. Not exactly a battle for P nowhere, as we had 19 starters, so there's good points on offer here. Ethan now looking for a way around, dives up the inside, clips the curb, but the car stays stable, and it's a very good overtake from the Welshman. But the Turkishman looks like he's primed to counter-attack, and he is. Round the outside, will he have the grip? No, he won't. The marbles will slow him down. No sign of the Valencia skies clearing up. The weather seems to be all the same today. Now up the inside goes the Turkishman, a perfectly executed and timed move. But the Welshman is side by side and manages to attempt the switchback successfully. Kaya will still have a chance going into the penultimate corner. As we know, Ethan's Ferrari keeps snapping here. We have Ostrozolik coming up in the background. Let's see what happens to Ethan. He runs wide and understeers rather than oversteers. Now we'll get to see the lap time comparison between these two in NGT. Side by side on the main straight. Oh, we weren't given a comparison just yet. The Viper gets by rather cleanly, and Kaya's going to lose time letting that Viper through, which gives Ethan an opportunity to go up the inside. Excellent racing between these two. Absolutely stunning as Ethan steps out, holds the Ferrari, and now is back in 12th overall. But he's gone wide again, which gives the Turkishman Kaya a chance to have a look, but there's no room. There's the Lister Storm in your background who's going to try and lap these two. I think we're going to be watching this fight to the very end. Continuing with the Turkishman versus the Welshman. Going deep now into the corner goes Kaya, locking up the left-hand corners of his car as they both push. I'd say they're both on hards due to the understeer. No, maybe Ethan's on softs because he's stuck the tail out, and the softs tend to oversteer more than the hards. But they are definitely going ragged against each other, barely 10th in it, I'd say. Now, let's see, will Ethan get this corner right? No, he won't! He's off, and that might end the battle. That does end the battle. That corner is his nemesis, and he'll be kicking himself. He set the car up for the rest of the track. Didn't quite set the car up for that corner. So meanwhile, Hansen is preparing, I think, to go after Batars. There's only 6 minutes to go plus 1 lap. I don't think he'll have the time. Closer now. Let's see if he's leading NGT. No, he's not. So this will be, I believe, this will be Luna's second NGT win in a row. There's a yellow flag out. What for? Why? Let's find out. Is there any calamity? Maybe there's someone in the pits? No. Is there an engine failure? Look at the time that Troy is pulling out on Petrovsky. I think Petrovsky may have had an off, and that was why the yellow flag came out as Troy laps Marat. Sidorenko! It's Sidorenko! That's what the yellow flag is for. So that must be engine failure of the GT Celine. Oh, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. So Bouchard now is going to go into third. Karol Zolek is going to get second. And it looks like Spirichev may win this uncontested despite racing half the race with Sidorenko. Petrovsky. Luna is going to be 6th. Korev will be 7th. 8th will be closest soon. Batars 10th. 11th is Hansen right now, but those positions will shift. I think Hansen's pushing hard to catch Batars actually. And there's Kaya still. Let the Ferrari through. The Ferrari is passionate to get through. And Kaya promptly gets out of the way. Ethan now has fallen right back after a valiant effort to defend his position. And there's Marat. I think that's going to conclude most of the battles as there's 4 minutes to go and we enter the ending of this race. There is another yellow flag though. It's Ethan who's gone off. He's re-entering though. He's okay. He's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Am I correct in that saying that? Actually, let me just go back to Spirichev here. Spirichev pulling time. Sidorenko retires as the fastest lap man of the race, 131.7. And that's what all the lap times will be compared to until someone beats it. Spirichev lapping 2.587 seconds slower than that. As Sidorenko slips down the order. Let me find the map and see. So there are, I want to say, 13 cars on track because we're taking Sidorenko out of the equation. So 13 left out of 20. 3 minutes to go. Just enough time to microwave a bowl of cereal. Let's see if Batars will get caught by Hansen. It just doesn't look like Hansen has the time. And he has to slow down and let the Viper through. Let's have an aerial shot of the track and see all the activity. There's Bouchard on his own in third. Won't catch the Viper, unfortunately. Close and Kaya. So Close has lapped NGT cars now. As you can see, quite the busy enough track. It was much busier at the beginning of the race, though. Beautiful overhead look of Valencia. And I've switched away accidentally. Ah, well. Back to business. Let's go with Spirchev, who's driven a faultless race. Stayed behind Sidorenko, stalked him, pressured him. Sidorenko held strong, but not strong enough. At least the Saleen engine doesn't think so. And now that Lamborghini is going to come away with a victory here as the Reiter, I would say, engineering RGT Lamborghini Murcielago pit crew are on the edge of their seats. There's 1 minute and 10 seconds to go, so about 2 laps for the F1 race winner, multiple race winner, constructors champion. A little bit of lag from the Russian, a multi-time constructors champion. Back in 1999, actually, he lost the Formula One World Championship by 1 point to Tina Curtis, who is not racing in this series. Karol Ostrozolek pulled out at 2/10 on lap 37, fell back a second on lap 38. So that's Spirchev now. 20 seconds to go, so it'll be finishing this lap, doing one more. Seems he has the fuel for it too. And then that'll be his victory secured. Hopefully no drama in the meantime. Let's go through the field. Ostrozolik, Bouchard, Barman somehow fourth. 4 position against Putravki, so this is a battle here. Let's watch this and see if Putravki can get fourth back before the race ends. We'll see Alexei Spirchev claim that victory soon. So this is going to be down to the wire. The Viper is a better car. He does not have ballast. Troy should have some ballast from finishing third. But it looks like Troy is definitely pushing that Viper to the utmost limits. And we do know that Max was rather inconsistent at times. But it seems he's holding his own quite well. It's now or never. He needs to get it done. The race is actually over as Spirchev crosses the line, wins here in Valencia, the LG Super Racing weekend, and who spun at the line? It's Troy Barman and Putravki, who got crossed up on each other, but no position change, unfortunately, for the German. And the German will finish 5th as Troy finishes 4th. That was a nice battle to the line. There's Luna, who has also concluded her race. Korev is already in the pits. Klose finishes 2nd in NGT on his debut. Very impressive. 3rd for Batars. 4th for Hansen. 5th for Kaya. 6th for Ethanol. 7th for Marat. And then the first of the retirements will be Sidorenko, who is 14th classified. So that pretty much wraps it up here in Valencia, the grey skies of Valencia. That was extremely entertaining. Extremely entertaining. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And we'll see you next week for the debut of the 2008 Formula One World Championship, which is going to prove to be a right cracker, I'd say. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're from across the globe. I've been your commentator, Matthew Sibignoni, and this was FIA GT Round 2 at Valencia, Season 7, Year 3 of VMU GT. Good night. Well, for me at least.